Okay, for today's lesson, we're going to look at how to find slope of a line, and this lesson is going to be in two parts. The first part, we're going to look at how to find the slope of a line that's graphed. So we're going to be looking at the graph of a linear equation, and we're going to look at that and determine the slope based off of its rise and run. So we'll talk about what that means in just a moment. The second part of the lesson, we're going to find slope as well, but we're going to find it, instead of using a graph, we're going to find it using 2 points. So I want to show you how to do both of those. For the first part, let's look at, and I've got a worksheet here. I want to do the first 3 maybe on the worksheet, and then I'll let you do some by yourself. One thing I do want to point out before we get started on the worksheet is that when we're doing slope, most of the time, most of us think about slope as how steep something is, an incline. And so when we talk about slope, we are talking about it's a measure of how steep something is. But slope can be measured as a positive number, it could be measured as a negative number, and that has to do with the direction of the slope. So what we want to do is, I first of all want you to be able to tell me, just by glancing, if you see a graph and you have a line that's graphed and it's slanting upward, and when I say slanting upward, I'm talking about left to right, that slope is always going to be positive. And then I'm going to show you how to find out the exact positive value that it is, but it will always be positive. If you have a slope of a line, and if that line is trending or slanted downward, going from left to right, then that slope is negative. We have 2 others that you might see. Sometimes you see a line, and it may be a flat horizontal line, like this right here. A flat horizontal line has a slope that is 0. And then sometimes we have a line that is a vertical line, straight up and down. And in that case, that slope is what we call undefined, and I'll show you how to know that in just a minute. Okay, so let's go to our worksheet, and let me show you how to find the actual value. Of course, I can quickly glance at all 9 of these on this worksheet, and I can quickly tell you if the slope is positive or negative. I don't see any on here that are 0 or undefined, because none of these lines are vertical or horizontal, but you could be given some on homework or on tests, so I wanted to make sure you knew how to do that. If I just quickly glance, I know number 1 is slanting upward, it's going to be positive. Number 2 would be negative. Number 3 would be positive. 4 negative. 5 positive. 6 negative, 7 positive, 8 negative, and 9 positive. And that's just a quick glance at it. And a lot of times that's going to help you as you find the value of the slope, so that you don't make a careless mistake and forget to put a negative sign on one that's negative. We always want to go back and check that before we write down our final answer. So let's start off with number 1. Number 1, in order to find slope, the first thing we have to always have is 2 points. So we're never going to be able to find slope without locating 2 points. So what I'm going to do, and if you look at number 1, they've already got the 2 points for you. We don't have to use those 2 points. We can use any 2 points we want. We'll get the same answer. It doesn't matter if I use the 2 they have. And a lot of times, I'll be honest, on the graphs that you're going to be given, there won't be any points labeled. You'll have to draw your own dots there. So when you do that, you can put them anywhere you want. They do have to be on where it crosses exactly on a number, so that we can easily tell what the ordered pair is. I don't want it to be halfway between or something like that. So to find slope of a line, slope is rise over run. And I think most of you know what rise means. It means to go up. And run, if you were running, you would run left to right. And so we'll talk about that. To do our slope, like I said, we need 2 points. Always start with your bottom point. So I'm going to start with this dot here that's on the -3. I'm going to start out and I'm going to do rise over run. Slope is always going to be a fraction. So I'm going to start with this bottom dot, and I'm going to rise how many values, how many spots or coordinates I need to rise in order to get level with my top dot. So I'm going to rise, start where your dot is, and then count 1, 2, 3, 4. So my slope, my numerator, which is my rise, will be 4. Over my run is my denominator. Once you get up to 4 level with that other dot, then you run, and you can run to the right or the left. In this case, I'm going to run to the right. Start here and count 1, 2. And then you simplify your fraction. 4 over 2 simplifies to 2. Now, sometimes your fractions will simplify and become whole numbers. Sometimes they'll simplify and still be fractions. Either one of those is acceptable. We don't typically write it as a decimal, and we don't want to write it as a mixed number. So let's leave it either as a fraction or a whole number. This one is positive. So we went up 4 and we went right 2. This one is positive, and you can tell we said from the beginning it would be because it's slanting upward. Okay, let's look at number 2. I need 2 points, so I'm going to put a dots on these 2. I'm going to start with my bottom dot, and I'm going to count how many blocks I rise. So I'm going to rise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to be my numerator. My denominator, I'm going to run to the left 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, because I went to the left, anytime when you rise, you're always going up. That's always going to be positive. But when you run, if you run to the left, that makes it negative. And you can put the negative on the bottom or the top or out front. It does not matter. Also, I can just glance at my line until it's slanting downward, which makes my slope negative, and that way I don't forget to put the negative sign on it. 5 over 4 is in simplest form. Again, I don't want to divide it and turn it into a decimal or a mixed number, so I'm just going to leave my slope negative 5 over 4. Let's do one more, and then I'll let you practice some on your own. Number 3, they've got the dots drawn here and here, so I can use those if I want to. I'm going to start with my bottom dot, and I'm going to count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 places to rise. That would be my numerator. My denominator, would be my run, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right. 7 over 5 is in the simplest form, and so 7 over 5 is my slope. Again, always double check. Make sure if it's going up and to the right, it's slanting upward, then it's going to be positive. Make sure if your slope, your line is going up and to the left, it's going to be slanting down, it would be negative. Always check for that. Okay, so that's how to do slope using a graph. Let's go to the second part. So I'm going to go to page 2. Page 2 is how to take 2 ordered pairs and find the slope given 2 ordered pairs. And there is a formula for slope, and I've got that at the top of this worksheet. This is the formula, and we'll talk about what that means. The slope is always going to be, they're always going to use this letter M to do slope. So always remember that when we do slope, you're going to see it called the letter M a lot of the times, and that's very common. Now, over here on the formula is M equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1. Those are subscripts. Those are not exponents. They're down below. They're subscripts. They're just labels. And then on the bottom, x sub 2 minus x sub 1. I don't want you to worry a whole lot about those little 2's and 1's. All that means is the second y and the first y, the second x and the first x. So what I'm going to do is basically I'm going to subtract my 2 y values on top, and I'm going to subtract my 2 x values on the bottom, and it's going to make a fraction, and that's going to be my slope. Now, when you do this, it really does not matter which one you start with, if you start with the second y or the first y, as long as you follow the same pattern on top and bottom. So let's get started, and I'll show you a couple of examples, and then maybe that will make a little more sense. Let's look at example 1, or number 1. I'm going to write the formula down. Remember, your y's always go on top, not your x's. A lot of kids confuse that because they think the x should come first, and it does in the ordered pair, but not on the slope formula. So what I'm going to do on this one, I'm going to start and subtract my y's on the top. Now if I do that, one thing that I notice on the top, my y values are 2 and 6. So if I subtract my y's, the second y minus the first y would be 6 minus 2. On the bottom, I'm going to subtract my x's. And my x's are going to be the -4 and the 5. Remember, those are your first numbers. So I'm going to subtract those on the bottom. And I'm going to get 5 minus -4. You subtract what the numbers are. So you may have two signs here. And that's okay because there's no way around it in this case. Remember, if you started with the 6 on the top, then you have to start with the 5 on the bottom because they're in the same ordered pair. So whatever ordered pair we start with on the top, we need to make sure we match and start with that same ordered pair on the bottom. So let's simplify. On the top, what is 6 minus 2? 4. On the bottom, what is 5 minus -4? And you can type that in your calculator. 5 minus -4 is 9, and 4/9 is in simplest form. If your slope would be negative, then it would come out negative when we simplify it. In this case, it doesn't. So we know that our slope is positive 4/9. Okay, let's look at number 2. I'm going to start by writing down my formula. M equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Okay, so I'm going to subtract on the top my y's. So my y's are -5 and 3. So I'm going to subtract those, the second y minus the first y. So the second y is 3 minus -5. On the bottom, I'm going to subtract my x's. My x's are 7 and 5, and I want to go in the same order. So I want to subtract the 7 minus the 5. And so let's simplify. On the top, 3 minus -5 is 8. On the bottom, 7 minus 5 is 2. 8 divided by 2 will simplify, and we get 4 for my slope. And that's all you have to do. So I want you to try a few. One thing I do want to caution you on that you may see, sometimes when you're doing slope, let me get back to my pencil. Sometimes when you're doing slope, you will find that when you work all your stuff out, you come out with an answer that has like -2 over -3. And 2 over 3 is in simplest form, but if you ever get a negative over a negative, just know that a negative divided by a negative is positive. So you cannot leave it like this. That's not simplifying. You want to always simplify and rewrite that as a positive and take the 2 negatives off, because 2 negatives being divided is a positive 2/3. So anytime you get that, always simplify that because you don't want to get that counted off on a test or a quiz. And you can see that up here. If you look up here at the example on the top, that's what happened to them. It was a -10 divided by a -1. It came out a positive 10. So just always watch for that. Okay, so I'm going to let you work on the homework assignment. We're going to practice this today, and then we'll probably practice some more tomorrow, and then have a quiz later on in the week. So let's see how you can do. Remember, you can always refer back to the videos and the examples if you need help, or send me a question on Canvas.